So now it is that your girl's recording. Let's go ahead. Let's jump into this next damn reaction, shall we? Patrick CC, shout outs to you. The man who exploited Britney Spears and got away with it. Mm. We're talking about Mr. Justin Timberlake, Mr. Crimea River himself. Fudge. I Without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's get into this.
The year is 2002, and Justin Timberlake is trying to break away from his iconic pop group NSYNC and prove himself as a solo star. Lucky for him, he has a superstar girlfriend, Britney Spears. But their fairy tale perfect relationship wasn't interesting enough to sell a record. He needed some angst, some hardship, something to justify why
Oh, Dr. Jedi, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Justin. Appreciate you.
a boy as perfect as him could struggle like the millions of fans he is selling his music to, after being
Damn.
unfaithful to the girl who loved him dearly.
I mean, NSYNC wasn't a bad boy band group. They had some fire hits, bro. Like, let's not do that. Like, was they struggling? Oh, and thank you for another gifted sub, Dr. Jedi. I appreciate you. Hi, Cherry. How are you?
For years, she finally had enough and slipped up. He used that mistake as ammunition against her, and executed a master plan to manipulate a story for him to roll out his first major hit, Crimea River, from his debut album, Justified. And his plan
Damn.
worked. Justin sold millions of records solo, and for 2 decades the world thought he was the innocent victim of Britney's evil ways.
You know, now that I think about it, this man has exploited quite a few different women within his career. Uh, Britney Spears is one of them. Another one, wholeheartedly, is Janet Jackson. Now I know Miss Janet Jackson said, "Hey, listen, his team has reached out to me and he wants to apologize publicly. This, and this." And I know it is that she said, "All right, don't nobody go and attack him and his team." But I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, because what he did was fucked up. And it's still fucked up. Like Janet lost a lot of endorsements. Niggas really was trying to like blackball this woman for something it is that wasn't even her fault. It was his fault. So that shit sucks. That honestly sucks.
But now Britney has finally told her side of the story, and it is somehow even darker than we could have imagined. Justin and Britney's history goes all the way back to 1992, where the 11-year-olds met on the set of Disney's The All-New Mickey Mouse Club. In her 2023 memoir, The Woman in Me, Britney recalls, "Once at a sleepover, we played Truth or Dare, and someone dared Justin to kiss me." Justin also recalled in a 2006 interview that he was in love with her from the start. "I was infatuated with her from the moment I saw her." The two young lovers maintained distant friends as their careers went separate ways. In 1998, Justin and his boy band NSYNC were exploding in popularity after the release of their debut self-titled album, which sold 4.4 million copies. Spears' name was already circulating around the industry as a promising singer, so NSYNC's manager Lou Pearlman decided to invite her to open for the boy band in their 1998 NSYNC in Concert Second to None tour. They hit most major cities in North America, selling out 3,000 to 5,000 capacity venues with Britney as the opener. During this tour, she officially released her debut single, Baby One More Time, which went on to reach #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. That same week, her debut album, Baby One More Time, hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 200, making her the first female artist in history to have a #1 song and #1 album at the same time. With two of the
Damn.
biggest and freshest pop sensations on one tour together, who just so happened to have been friends since they were 11 years old, naturally rumors of them dating began circulating.
I've heard like a rumor that you and Justin from NSYNC have gone out. I was just wondering if it was true.
No, it's not true.
Not true?
No, it's not true.
Not true.
Not
No,
true.
I guess because we were on the Mickey Mouse Club together with JC, but I mean, people are gonna start rumors, try, but no, it's not true.
Okay.
Who's dating Britney Spears?
I know people tend to not favor in the lights of celebrities not claiming other people and stuff like that, which is fine. But as somebody that has been in media training and has worked with quite a few high clientels before, I can't blame them for kind of lying about certain things, because people do come up with their own like speculations on things. And if you really don't want that out there, you don't want to be claiming that person, this is and this, they have a right to say no, or they have a right to just be like, oh no, this isn't this. Now, morally, somebody's gonna say it is that person's not telling the truth. But at the end of the day, it's really not outside business to know what is really going on. You know, when you have that many eyes on you, so many other people's different opinions and stuff like that. Um, I get it. I do. I wholeheartedly understand why some people would just kind of deny it at first, and especially like a lot of celebrities have done this before, so I can't blame them.
Rumored,
Is
Justin.
it rumored?
I have to say, I'm dating Tyra Banks.
Last night on TV, I saw you and Justin from NSYNC making out.
What?
Have you two been going out this whole time? Love, Carrie.
This is showing age. This is wow. This is showing age. This is showing age. A lot of people are gonna be like, "What is that?" Like, that's what it was like. Being on social media. Social media was not necessarily a up and thriving thing like what it is now. A lot of it was AOL dial-up, and if y'all from the '90s, like myself, you know the sound of what that motherfucker is. You have to go through the phone line. You won't be able to use the phone because it is you using the internet. You know what I'm saying? Yes, yes, yes.
For real?
I don't.
But they both were lying. Those rumors were true, and Britney and Justin kept their relationship secret for as long as possible. It wasn't actually until January of 2001, over 2 years later, where they officially confirmed that they had been in a relationship this whole time. Now it was 2001, and these two were a certified Hollywood power couple. They both were at the peaks of their careers. Britney just released Oops, I Did It Again, and had already generated 30 million album sales in 2 years. Justin and NSYNC released It's Gonna Be Me and Bye 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 off their album No Strings Attached, which went diamond in the first year. The couple performed at the Super Bowl 35 halftime show together. Britney did her iconic I'm a Slave for You performance at the 2001 VMAs, where she claimed that Justin helped her calm her down before she hit the stage. I mean, I was in a cage with a live tiger. Justin saw I could hardly talk, so he held my hand and gave me a 5-minute pep talk, which obviously worked. The media absolutely adored both of them, highlighting their pet names for each other at a charity basketball game, Pinky and Stinky, and note their numbers being 1.5 and 0.5 to make 2 together. She told The Guardian in 2001 that Justin was living at her house in Los Angeles during his downtime between tours. She also expressed her deep, deep love for him, saying, "I'm not ashamed at all to say that I love him from the bottom of my heart. As far as love is concerned, with him, too much is not enough. He's everything. But it is a deeper love now than when I was younger. Like, we've gone through so much together, and we've known each other since we were 12 years old. We know each other inside and out." While she was filming her 2002 movie Crossroads, the director said that Justin was regularly on set supporting her. The director also had Britney absent-mindedly doodle in a notebook in character as Lucy to show the character's creative aspirations. The director said, "I have the book. All she was writing was Britney and Justin, all these little curly cues. It was like looking at a teenage girl's musing hearts and butterflies and Justin's name." Britney and Justin in 2001 were an absolute powerhouse, sharing a bond that was seemingly unbreakable, and fans still to this day look back at old footage and see how deeply in love Britney was with Justin.
I think everybody who listens to it will be totally surprised. I think it's the best her voice has ever sounded. And it's such a step in a good direction for her. And I think obviously you can tell from the first single, it shows a lot of growth and it shows where she's going with her music. I love it.
Well, thanks.
There is nothing stronger than a first love, and Britney, who was just 20 years old, was extremely vulnerable and greatly attached to her childhood lover, which is why the world was shocked to hear in March of 2002 she announced their breakup.
Can I ask you just quite simple, are you single at the moment or not? Or you really don't want to talk about anything at all? You can just say, I don't want to say.
I'm single right now.
The tabloids and media ran wild throughout the entirety of 2002, speculating as to why the perfect couple separated. Justin remained quiet and instead released his very first solo single, Like I Love You, in the beginning of September 2002. This was a shock to the pop world. What about NSYNC? They just had a smash hit Girlfriend that rocked the radio all summer long. Typically, when a member of a band or group releases a solo song or project, speculation of a breakup is bound to happen. Speaking of breakup, in the exact same week Justin released his new song, tabloids began spreading the narrative that Britney betrayed Justin, and their friends allege that cheating is what drove them apart.
See, this is why it is. I can understand why people want to keep things private, because people come up with their own speculations on certain things, and sometimes with being that public in the public eye with the relationship backfires quite a bit. There has to be some level of privacy, even within working within the same career and realm and everything like that. So I get it, and I understand why people would um kind of just be quiet about this. But tabloids like this, it suck because then there's all these different, like, oh, this person obviously did something wrong, so you get blamed for certain things, and then of course you don't want to feed into it because feeding into it can make you look guilty in a lot of ways. But not saying something can also make you look guilty. So it's it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know, look what happened in One Direction. Yeah,
As if the narrative couldn't favor Justin even more, he was labeled sexy and single by the media. Like I Love You debuted at number 67 on the Billboard Hot 100, which was a lackluster performance for the lead singer of the biggest pop group in the world. Conveniently, a couple weeks after his first song, new exclusive never-before-seen pictures of Britney and Justin were leaked to the tabloids. I wonder who had those never-before-seen pictures. With the boost in media attention, his song started to climb the Billboard charts, eventually peaking at number 11 in October. Once the song started losing steam and
no, that's sneaky. That's that. Wow. So you're gonna go ahead and use basically your ex-girl fame in order to climb the charts? That's not good.
falling down the charts, he finally decided to publicly speak about the breakup with Britney in an interview with Barbara Walters.
I remember when we decided that we were going to go our separate ways. We sat down and I said to her, if there's ever a moment where you ever need me, you can rest assured that I will be there because I love you as a person and I will always love you. But I'd also said, look, no matter what we say at this point, people are going to speculate things and I could really get myself in a horrible position if I was to say something and somebody misinterpret it, because that happens all the time. And I promised to her that I wouldn't say specifically why we broke up.
Additionally, he, a grown man, did the interview alongside his mom, which made the people feel like he was a sweet, innocent mama's boy who got his heart broken.
That PR is nasty. That PR is disgusting. He tried, man, that is a disgusting move in order to go ahead and to get more of a top in the charts and point this picture. It is like, oh, well, he's a sweet boy. That type of image, that's nasty work.
I cried with him and said, it'll be okay. Tomorrow I'll come. I just want him to be happy. He was heartbroken.
Put your head on Mommy's shoulder.
It was tough for us. It was tough for both of us because I can't stand to see him hurt.
Many of the songs on Justified were about heartbreak, betrayal, and relationships in general, but Justin said that the songs were not about Britney.
Yet when we sat down at the piano and asked him to play something from Justified, he chose instead to play a song that nobody has ever heard before. Interesting lyrics.
Thought our love was so strong. I guess I was dead wrong. But to look at it positively, hey girl, at least you gave me another song about a horrible woman.
Note that last line he said, at least you gave me another song about a horrible woman. This seems so blatantly obvious it was about Britney. It also basically stamped the fact that his next song, Cry Me a River, was about this horrible woman. Justin allegedly called Britney to let her know that a woman would be acting in the music video as her doppelganger, but she was still shocked to realize that the music video basically recreates and dramatizes their breakup. The lyrics read, "You don't have to say what you did. I already know I found out from him. Now there's just no chance with you and me. Girl, I refuse. You must have me confused with some other guy. The bridges were burned. Now it's your turn to cry. Cry me a river. You know that they say some things are better left unsaid, and it wasn't like you only talked to him and you know it. Don't act like you don't know it. And all of these things people told me keep messing with my head. Should have picked honesty. Then you may not have blown it." After this song and music video was released, the media was in a frenzy, establishing a war between Britney and Justin. He continued doing press. Nearly every interview asked him about Britney.
Is it frustrating to try to promote an album when all anyone seems to want to talk about is Britney.
So anyway,
I mean, you're also the problem by saying that. Like, what type of gaslighting shit is that? For you to go ahead and be like, oh, I know it is. It must be hard. How do you deal with trying to promote an album, and while everybody wants to talk about Britney Spears? You're part of the problem by bringing it up right then and there. Like, stop. Stop. I hate when journalists, reporters, all of that. Not all journalists is good journalists, by the way. I hate seeing that because there's certain things, again, that even for me, when I've done interviews, you ask certain questions before the camera's on, before the mic is hot. That's a term it is that we use, like when we about to go live. You know, I hate that. We ask those questions beforehand of like, is there anything it is you don't want us to ask while it is that you're here? Because it's nothing is more embarrassing where you have your guest here or at the show and you ask certain questions that you're not supposed to, and based off of how well their media training is of being the person who's being interviewed, it either makes or breaks the question, and that sucks. I hate that. I really do. So this is quite another PR experience, if you will.
Britney. Can I just mention Britney for a minute?
Sure. Now, of course, you did go out with one of your former Mouseketeers, Britney Spears.
That Crimea River, that's a beautiful, beautiful video. And who's that about?
Crimea River peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and successfully proved that Justin could stand on his own and did not need NSYNC. Timbaland, who produced this track and would go on to produce many of Justin's hits, recalled this moment as proof that Justin could be a solo star.
I think the aha moment for me is when I was in the studio and I was beatboxing. And so he walked in the room, you know, had this face, then he just it hit him right there. And he started humming. I was like, oh, this it. He the one.
His debut album sold 439,000 copies first week, which landed him the number 2 spot on the Hot 200, and the album would go on to be 3 times platinum. His plan worked. But Britney gave Justin much more grace. She did not entertain the tabloids. She hardly gave interviews, nor did she try to rewrite the narrative in her favor.
That's why she's the fucking GOAT. Golly, bro. The way how it is, niggas did Britney so fucking dirty for years. I mean, her own family, niggas it is who dated her. You know what I mean? The tabloids. Oh man, I feel like a lot of people owe Miss Britney Spears an apology. And then they sit there and they make these claims of just like, oh yeah, she must be on drugs or something like that. This and this. She was on that goddamn conservatorship for so fucking long, and now she can able to do what it is that she wants to do. Man, if I had that strict of a control, like to where the government is, the state itself is telling me what it is I can and cannot do with my body, whatnot, shit, I'd be naked around this bitch too. I'd be in the living room with some motherfucking Daisy Dukes bra and panties and kind of, you know what I'm saying, doing the same thing if I had to go through that. Y'all need to give her some grace on the stuff it is that she went through.
However, many believe that her stunt at the 2003 VMAs where she kissed Madonna on stage was a way to get back at Justin. At least that's what the media wanted to push as they zoomed in on his face. He says he wasn't impressed.
That kiss thing, I was disgusted as you were.
How are you disgusted and you're a fucking lesbian? What? How? Ellen, you like girls. How? What? Would you prefer that there was a nigga up there? Like, what are we talking about? So I remember this. He did her dirty. Ellen, shut the fuck up. Like, what? How? Go ahead.
Impressed.
That kiss thing, I was disgusted as you were.
You know what?
Ellen acting like it is, she don't be carpet munching her damn self. What are we talking about?
I don't think I was disgusted.
No.
I think I was just not impressed. I mean, I expected a lot more. It's the VMAs, you know?
Britney finally decided to speak about the breakup over a year and a half after the fact, and the interviewer, Diane Sawyer, seemed to be interrogating her.
Okay, of course.
I remember this. He did her dirty.
Yeah, like he so fucking dirty, bro.
He's gone on television and pretty much said, you broke his heart. You did something that caused him so much pain.
Boy. I love the fact that I pause onto this face because boy, shut the fuck up. You be instigating shit too, gang.
Oh my gosh, she really hurt. STFU Ellen.
Like, come on, bro. Like that's nasty work. Ain't nobody even asked her like how it is, like how she feels about the breakup. Is her heart broken and stuff? You just gonna be one-sided with the shit.
So much suffering. What did you do?
I was upset. I was upset for a while. I think we're both really young, and it was kind of waiting to happen. And I will always love him. He'll always have a special place in my heart. He is such a great person.
But you said, I've only slept with one person in my whole life, 2 years into my relationship with Justin. And yet he's left the impression that you weren't faithful, that you betrayed the relationship.
I think everyone has a side of their story to make them feel a certain way, make them feel, and I'm not technically saying he's wrong, but I'm not technically saying he's right either.
Meanwhile, Justin was doing interviews bragging about sleeping with her.
The Strong Buck Wild Morning Show. Justin Timberlake is in the house. And I just want to ask you one question. Did you Britney Spears? Yes or no?
Inappropriate question. To be honest with you, like stuff like this is how you get fired on radio shows. If we're gonna keep it at 11,010, to say that on air and stuff like that, this is Hot 97 we're talking about. And this is Hot 97. You know what I mean? Inappropriate ass question. This is how you get fired. This is how you get fucking fired from stuff like that. That's wrong. That's a wrong way to go.
No.
Oh, man.
Come on, man.
Okay, I did it. No,
It was a really weird time. There was like talk about what we did together and like really sexually and stuff. And I just felt very exploitive and very weird.
Despite this, Britney chose not to bash Justin or embarrass him when speaking about the Crimea River video.
And again, she's still even showing respect to Justin even after all that stuff. That takes quite a level of maturity to even do that. Thank you for gifting Zona a gifted sub. Appreciate it. I'm glad it is that she that takes a lot of maturity even through being hurt. There you go. it takes a lot of maturity of even just being hurt to not bash somebody through breakups, because a lot of times what people do during this time the time of a breakup is to be petty, and in some form of way is to be really petty, or to have a petty party, sometimes even blackmailing, all that other stuff. But it takes a level of maturity that even in the spotlight you ain't bashing the person it is that you was with because it was a part of your life. And I stand by that as well. Like, you know what I mean? If somebody is in my life personally and something like, or to any degree, I'm not gonna publicly bash them. That would be showing my character if it is that I did. So Britney definitely, she handled her own within the situation. It's a tough situation, but she handled it.
Yo.
When did you see it for the first time, the video?
I saw it. I was on vacation, and someone called me and told me that it was going to come on, and I watched it, and I was just like, I was kind of in denial. Like, I went in this whole denial phase or whatever, but it's fine. That's the way I don't want to judge him or anything like that, because that's the way he had to deal with what happened, and, and that's fine. But I know that if I was in a relationship and something happened, I couldn't really go there, but it's all good. Let's talk about something else.
At the time, Justin fans thought she wasn't speaking ill of him because she was actually in the wrong.
Is it so difficult to move on from a breakup in a celebrity relationship? I mean, breakups within itself is already difficult. You know what I mean? And that does take time of processing, because realities of things, when it is you finally say this, okay, we're gonna be done here. This, blase, blase. the reality of things don't hit right at that moment. And it goes in waves. It's different stages to this. A lot of times it is people go through a bargaining stage where they're just trying to like, okay, well, whatever it is, I can able to fix it, or what happened. This is, and especially if you're the person who did get dumped, then there's anger, then there's a lot of depression, sadness, and then there's a level of acceptance. Breakups is the same thing as when people pass away. It has the same levels and stuff. So there's really not a right or wrong answer to be dealing with breakups. Um, but you don't want to sit in your feelings. It's good to feel your emotions, but it's not good to sit in it for a period of time, because you do eventually have to progress on and everything like that. But it does suck. I can only imagine within a celebrity relationship, because you have so many different eyes, so many different opinions, people trying to pinpoint of okay, who was the person that is who messed up or whatever it is. Like, that's, oh my God, I was so mad what he did to Janet Jackson. He hasn't apologized until I think 2023 or 2022. Yeah, it was of like recent years. It is like he openly wanted to talk about that with her team privately. But it's, but I can only imagine that of being owed an apology, public apologies and stuff like that. Like, he definitely, you know what I'm saying? He definitely needs to get his act together, because wasn't he just arrested for a fucking DUI? That mugshot of him recently looks terrible of what it is that he did. And then to go right back into being on stage and stuff, like as if like it didn't happen. It's like, come on, Justin.
She did, in fact, cheat on him, and she was just accepting the narrative because it was the truth. But Britney fans always suspected something was weird with Justin. Their breakup just didn't make sense. Britney loved him. Why would she ever cheat on him? There had to be missing information. Plus, when you consider his successful breakout as a solo artist after departing from the largest boy band in the world, and the media heavily favoring him, these things just felt all too convenient. It just felt like it was all part of a plan. Especially after his second controversy 1 year later at the Super Bowl halftime show, where he was the one who ripped Janet Jackson's breast covering off, only for Janet to be banned from radio, crucified by the media, and him to just remain silent. He didn't come to her defense, and he skated by that controversy totally unscathed. Justin Timberlake was able to successfully advance his career by benefiting from the publicity of two major controversies while looking like the innocent, sweet boy. Now, 20 years later, Britney finally decided to speak about their relationship in her memoir, The Woman in Me, and there are some key details she hid for 2 decades that shine a much-needed light on the complicated reality of their relationship. There were a couple times during our relationship when I knew Justin had cheated on me, especially because I was so infatuated and so in love. I let it go, even though the tabloids seemed determined to rub my face in it. When NSYNC went to London in 2000, photographers caught him with one of the girls from All Saints in a car, but I never said anything. At the time, we'd only been together for a year. Another time we were in Vegas, and one of my dancers who'd been hanging out with him told me he gestured toward a girl and said, "Yeah man, I hit that last night." I don't want to say who he was talking about because she's actually very popular and she's married with kids now. My friend was shocked and believed Justin was only saying it because he was high and felt like bragging. There were rumors about him with various dancers and groupies. I let it all go, but clearly he'd slept around. It was one of those things where you know, but you just don't say anything. So I did too. Not a lot. One time. With Wade Robson. We were out one night and we went to a Spanish bar. We danced and danced. I made out with him that night. I was loyal to Justin for years, only had eyes for him with that one exception, which I admitted to him. And in 2002, Justin never mentioned to the press that he cheated on Britney multiple times during the rollout of his Justified album, because that would have devalued his narrative that he was this broken, innocent boy who got taken advantage of by an evil woman. But Britney's story gets even sadder. She goes on to speak about how she became pregnant with his child. At one point when we were dating, I became pregnant with Justin's baby. It was a surprise, but for me, it wasn't a tragedy. I love Justin so much. I always expected us to have a family together one day. This would just be much earlier than I'd anticipated. Besides, what was done was done. But Justin definitely wasn't happy about the pregnancy. He said we weren't ready to have a baby in our lives, that we were way too young. I could understand. I mean, I kind of understand. If he didn't want to become a father, I didn't feel like I had much of a choice. I wouldn't want to push him into something he didn't want. Our relationship was too important to me, and so I'm sure people will hate me for this, but I agreed to not have the baby. Abortion was something I never could have imagined choosing for myself, but given the circumstances, that is what we did. Britney then goes on to describe in great detail the process of getting an abortion and how physically and emotionally painful the experience was. Also, looking back, fans now realize her song and video, Every Time, was about
her. Oh no. Oh no. I remember this. Oh no. Oh no. Man, wow. That's painful. Yeah, that's painful.
About her suffering the loss of her child and comparing it to the magnitude of losing your own life. Justin was there for her at the time, but little did she know he was planning on breaking up with her. When Justin began making his first solo album, Justified, he started being very standoffish with me. I think that was because he decided to use me as ammunition for his record, so it made it awkward for him to be around me staring at him with all that affection and devotion. Ultimately, he'd ended our relationship by text messages while I was on set for a video shoot. She also states that Justin's family...
Damn, that's classless. Damn. Damn. I don't see. I really don't. I don't like that. I really don't like that. That's so classless. So what I'm hearing, yeah, he's the problem. And especially on set at that, where her mind is supposed to be, doing her job and everything like that. You text her then, like, I feel like people really don't understand the importance of when things should not be text. Important conversations, especially to that degree, should not be over a text. It has to be within person. You know what I mean? Like, doing that through text or at least over the phone or something. Like, you had the most craziest timing to go ahead and just break up with someone and stuff like that while she's doing her job. Nasty word.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard somewhere that he has HIV. If true, then karma.
I didn't hear. I didn't hear that. Bro's lacking sense of dignity and integrity. Right. I feel like a lot of people don't do that. I mean, anything it is like of severity that should be talked about, it shouldn't be through text message, because a lot of times text messages get misconstrued. So it's best to either, if you can, over the phone, or if not, in person. If you can't, obviously, if you're like long distance and stuff like that, there are hard pills to swallow. But the fact that, like, you couldn't even face Britney and break up with her like that that's making me look at you even weirder, gang.
It was the only loving family she had, and she spent all of her holidays with them, meaning now she was broken, alone, and suffering the wrath of the media, fueling the false narrative that she was an unfaithful cheater. I felt there was no way at the time to tell my side of the story. I couldn't explain, because I knew no one would take my side since Justin had convinced the world of his version. I don't think Justin realized the power he had in shaming me. I don't think he understands to this day. I should know that in 2021, after the Free Britney movement successfully got her out of her 13-year-long conservatorship, Justin issued a public apology to Britney Spears and Janet Jackson. I specifically want to apologize to Britney Spears and Janet Jackson both individually, because I care for and respect these women and I know I failed.
Boo! You don't care, bro. The only reason why it is that you cared is because niggas was out here putting the flame to your ass on, like, yo, you just gonna sit there and disrespect these women like this, and you ain't gonna sit there and, like, apologize at all. You gonna reap the benefits of fucking over 2 major songwriters and female artists? Give me a fucking break.
But trust me when I say this apology was kind of random. Nobody was really expecting it. I guess he was getting some hate from Britney fans and decided, oh, I'll just throw this vague apology trying to cover up for my sins of the past 20 years or whatever. It was just kind of random and unnecessary. He didn't go into detail as to why he was apologizing to Britney and Janet. But this apology was in 2021, and Britney released her memoir in 2023. And after she detailed the cheating and abortion, he expressed that he was not sorry.
I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody.
The way the media treated Britney cannot be entirely blamed on Justin. She suffered the wrath of the media well before and well after she dated Justin. You also can't blame Justin for Britney's downward spiral, which led to her extremely unjust conservatorship. But there is no doubt that he saw an opportunity to advance his career at the expense of Britney's public perception. Maybe he thought it wouldn't be that bad and the money she would make would be worth it. Maybe he just didn't care about her the same way that she did. But now, over 2 decades later, Justin is not sorry. And after
Yeah, this damn mugshot, bro. You could tell he off the sugar booger just by looking at his eyes. Like, I just don't like this. Like, I really just don't like this. It's like, you know exactly what it is that you're doing. And do I believe in karma? Yes and no. But you definitely get what it is you deserve. You know what I'm saying? How it is that you treat people is always going to affect you within the future. I won't say that's karma, but it definitely is burning bridges with people, and you're not taking the time to at least go ahead and be like, oh, I fucked up. I'm sorry. You know, you reap the benefits of everybody's success, and that's nasty work. You know?
his most recent DWI arrest, the media is now diving deep, speculating about his potential addiction, and the internet is spreading.
And it's his own damn fault.
Exactly.
False information that he had Molly, poppers, coke, and an HIV medication in his system. The narrative is starting to shift against Justin Timberlake, so it seems like the tables have turned a little.
Oh, wait, hold on. So you might be right. You might be right about that. Damn. Well, shit. Well, shit. Hey, so it is, you don't mess people over. But Patrick CC, shout outs to you. Thank you so much for the video. Shout outs to y'all in the chat. And shout outs to you at home. I will catch y'all in the next video.